I stuck on my creases in my pants. I started using starch on my God. Unbeatable. Okay. What am I looking for? Wait, somebody said they found a clip of the VTuber that said that Destiny shouldn't joke about the Trump shooting.
Destiny literally streams himself being he doesn't have shame. He's out here saying he'll sleep well if bad things happen to his parents. If they get killed at a rally, he's saying, yeah, I'll sleep comfortably. They made their bed, they can lie in it.
That?
He's out here mocking and making fun of people that got shot because they're Trump supporters. All jokes are acceptable, and immediately after a tragedy is typically the best time to make a joke about said tragedy.
I'm not a very easily offended person, but watching that video got me thinking, dude, what the heck are you thinking? Some subjects are simply not to be talked about. Hashtag new rules. Well,
No, I completely disagree with that. It's like the most recent shooting I haven't gotten to talk about on stream yet. There was another transgender shooter that went to a church in Texas, and as far as I know, only 2 people got hurt before the police neutralized the transgender shooter. So we still haven't gotten the complete first Tranifesto. I don't know if there's a Tranifesto for the Texas church shooting, but hopefully we'll get one. Apparently they also had Free Palestine written on their weapon. I don't know. I haven't gotten a chance to go through all of this on stream, but it's like, if we're going to start seeing a trend of these so-called transgender people shooting up churches.
Wait, what was there? What's her Twitter account? Twitter account. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Did she ever tweet her reactions about me, or was it somebody else that had like clipped it and tweeted it? She did. Oh, it was actually someone else? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. God, I love the grimace emoji. Yes! It's one of my favorite emojis. It's such a good emoji. Jesus, what a quote. How do conservatives defend this shit? Like, imagine saying this with no evidence and then believing anything the person would say afterwards. There was a massive and coordinated effort to steal this election from we the people of the United States of America to delegitimize and destroy votes for Donald Trump, to manufacture votes for Joe Biden. And who was responsible, according to this Fox broadcast? None other than Dominion. Bartiromo asked Powell, Sydney, we talked about the Dominion software. I know that there were voting irregularities. Tell me about that. And Powell responded, that's putting it mildly. That is where the fraud took place, where they are flipping votes in the computer system or adding votes that did not exist. Okay. Jesus. Conveniently for Powell, Bartiromo, and Fox's false election fraud storyline, Dominion machines were in 28 states across the country, including many of the contested battlegrounds. Casting Dominion as the perpetrator of the fraud provided a way to explain why President Trump lost in so many states. Bartiromo knew at the time these claims were false or recklessly disregarded the truth. Indeed, Bartiromo had previously reported in October that President Trump's lead would fade, not because of fraud, but because mail-in and absentee ballots would be counted later than in-person ballots. Yet her November 8th interview gave Fox a stamp of approval to the message that it was acceptable to falsely accuse Dominion of election fraud. The interview also illustrated starkly that, if given the opportunity to do so, Powell would make provably false statements about Dominion. Yet, despite Fox's knowledge that Powell would state malicious lies about Dominion, Fox continued to invite her as a guest. Okay, I'm not going to read through this entire complaint. I think we get the point. Do we get more emails for YouTube chat? What format do they need to be in? And do we just email them to you? I don't know. Look up what the format they need to be in. If you email them to me, I'll add them. Is there anything else interesting in this indictment? Let's see. Damn. November 12th to 15th, Dominion sends Fox the facts, further disproving the falsehoods, but Fox sticks with its lies for the ratings. Hi, what's up? What do you want? Jackson Palak. Making my way downtown. Whichever one of you wakes up first. Okay, and Maxby. And the Demon
Hey.
Him. Are any of you awake? Hello. Maxby,
I'm
you're
awake.
up.
Cool.
it.
So, oh,
Nope, you're going. Maxby, you're up.
all right, cool. The other day on stream, you mentioned using negative social pressures, some stuff like bullying as a tactic to sort of limit the kind of acceptable discourse on the right. So, for example, like bullying the shit out of Kat Kaneda or Canada, or whoever the propaganda poster on Twitter, and also saying that you'd go harder on Shapiro and JP or any other large pundit next time around. So I guess I'm wondering, do you ever worry about public debates or convos being so feels based that people might get dissuaded from critically thinking through your arguments?
People have already stopped critically thinking. I think that
I guess
if people want to come and have reasonable conversations, we'll have a reasonable conversation, but I'm not going to treat conservatives, I believe, unhinged things as reasonable interlocutors. We're just going to hardcore focus on a few things and never deviate from these talking points until they...
No, for sure. I mean, I would agree with that. I think, though, that one anecdote that I can pull up is just my mom, actually. Now, I don't know if maybe some other people would have a similar experience, but my mom is sort of was a Bush era Republican, and through her media diet, I think became very, not very, but is sort of leaning Trump. So I showed her a video of yours, or I just said, hey, go look up the Destiny conversation with JP and Ben Shapiro. She watched the Shapiro one and said, yeah, wow, these are points I haven't really thought about. So do you think that there's enough people in that sort of camp like my mom that are worth it to sort of put forth?
Well, did she actually change her mind on anything?
I mean, I'd have to ask her, because she said she really liked some of the points you brought up. So I can follow up with her and see. But I mean, that's not a response that I would. Yeah, that's not a response that I would usually hear from someone who's so brain broken that
Yeah, but that's because I'm making my stuff as palatable as possible to an insane person. So I'm my messaging is designed to feel good to somebody who's completely lost. But it's not I don't know if it's moving them at all. That's the issue. Yeah.
It is. I mean, I guess if I could understand more people's experiences and saying hey, do you have parents that are kind of insane, and have they? Because I know my mom is one person who I think is representative of a silent. I don't know if silent majority is true, but because obviously they're the people who are loudest are the people who are brain broken the most, I think. But I don't know. I think it's worth it. Like, do you ever consider different channels for different tactics? So like using Twitter to bully the fuck out of people and then still keeping debates to be even headed. Like, would you ever debate Shapiro and call him like a retard or something like that crazy? Or would you?
No, it's not about just like screaming at people and calling them names. It's just about like hardcore focusing on certain facts and not letting people just dance away with things that should be like intensely interrogated. I'm not just gonna run around screeching at people, like smearing shit all over the walls. I don't know what it's just gonna be like a very razor fact focused conversation where I'm not gonna let people like weasel out of.
But with JP, for example, if you did it a second time, what would the harder drilling look like?
It would be asking for a single shred of evidence for some top-down conspiracy to do climate change, or it would be asking for a single shred of evidence that the excess deaths in Europe are caused by vaccines. And it would just be, we wouldn't move on until we'd establish that. We'd pull out our phones, we could look up data or studies, and we would figure that out immediately.
So you didn't feel like you did that enough when
absolutely
he just
not. I didn't even at all. No, absolutely
not.
Not. Yeah, I let him just dance from topic to topic on everything, and he still came away ass pained as fuck.
Well, do you feel like those conversations though would warrant? Because like, let's say a 2-hour convo with JP, which I think it was 2 hours, right? Or was it 1 hour?
I don't remember. 1.5, I think, but
that amount of time would only probably be enough time for like one topic. Would that even be worth it for you? Or are you gonna like try and do 5-hour combos with Lex? Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Cool. Thanks.
Okay. Be careful. Okay, Jackson, you're next.
I was interested in disagreeing about Biden being the best nominee.
Okay, as opposed to who?
Okay, as opposed to either Harris or preferably in open.
I can't. Opposed to Harris or who?
Harris or a mini primary.
Your thing is your mic keeps cutting off the end. Harris or a mini primary? Is that what you're saying?
Sorry. Okay, here we go. Harris or just hosting a mini primary and then picking the winner of that.
Okay. I don't really have like strong feelings on it. I guess I don't really care what they do, as long as they all get together and like do something.
Well, I think switching would increase the Dems' chance of winning by at least like 20%.
That's fine, but we have no possible fucking way to quantify that. So.
Well, we do actually. So Scott Alexander wrote an article called "Prediction Markets Suggest Replacing Biden."
Okay.
There are some real money markets for both the Dem nomination and the presidential election.
Oh, okay. Is the argument just follow the prediction markets? Oh, I think it's thing.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's the first argument. I think it's a pretty good argument, though. That is a lot of volume. And fundamentally, this is just a question that hinges on judgment. Like, there isn't a way to quantify who voters are going to like. But prediction markets are one input. The other input that I like is, so there are some people who I consider, and are generally considered to have very good judgment among the Democratic commentariat. People like Nate Silver, Matthew Iglesias, Ezra Klein. And in Congress, too, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, both Democratic leadership, are considered to be very effective politicians. All of these people think it's imperative to swap out.
Okay.
And then if we're going to object level arguments.
I'm not just, I don't have like a huge opposition to this. I'm not going to like if they want to swap out, they can. I don't feel strongly about it one way or another.
Okay. Well, so there's one argument you made before about how swapping would be risky.
Yeah.
Right. It would, Discord. Swapping, there would be, if there's a convention, people are going to fight each other. They're going to dig up dirt. I think that's generally true, but this election is special. Both Trump and Biden are historically unpopular relative to presidential candidates. They're both running in approvals 10 points below where elections for the past 40 years, the candidates have. And I think that would normally be a good point, but I think both Trump and Biden's manifest unpopularity, which you can see both in polling and just by talking to people. You ask people, what do you think about Trump and Biden? You're not going to get at very much, oh, wow, I love it. There's a lot more, they're both bad, but ultimately I'm going with it.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see what happens then, yeah. If they swap them out, yeah.
But yeah, that's basically my. I think that aligns with the prediction markets, and I think Trump really is as bad as you say he is, and a 20% extra chance of not having Trump is, I think, worth a lot.
Okay, I'll keep it in mind. Okay,
All right, yeah, that's it.
Bye. Wait, hello?
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 I don't know who I dragged up first.
Make a choice.
Okay, Damon, you just spoke. Go.
I disagree. You should be calling more people retarded in conversations.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it, but I guess you're not interested in that. All right.
Do you have anything else to say
then?
besides like be nice, or is it just another? You should
No,
be
I
nice
said
guy?
you should be calling more people retarded in conversations. I feel like some people
base.
yeah,
True.
yes,
Base
yes.
and true.
Based and
Absolutely.
true.
I
Thank
agree.
you.
Hell yes,
Thank you.
brother. Hell
like
yes.
that fucking the not Elon guy. That guy should have gotten.
Okay, but the
3
only
minutes in
issue
the
is
conversation.
just on the off chance that it was Elon. I didn't want to make that impression, But okay. All right. Thanks.
Well, sounds like we don't disagree.
Yeah, be careful.
Based and retarded pilled.
True. Bye.
Bye.
Making my way downtown. You're the last one. What's up?
Hey, oh gosh. Hi, Chad. Hi, Destiny. I'm a big fan.
Cool.
Your reaction the last few weeks has been so justified and effective. It's just this vital moment right now, I think, to hold up the hypocrisy, or the mirror to the hypocrisy right now.
Doesn't sound like a disagreement, so I'm getting nervous, but go ahead.
I'm in disagreement with a few things. So I'm big into election fraud. So I think it's possible that there's a few different things going on. Like there could have been fraud, right? But I don't think Americans on either side are capable of generating fraud, like one-sided, undetectable fraud. But I think there is a threat when you consider a U.S. enemy like Russia. I mean, Russia is literally warning Trump that there's going to be fraud and that the Dems are going to steal it. Why would he do that? And I think that we should maybe speculate more on the left about that instead of getting just cocked by this Russia dismissal that he's been able to do.
Well, I don't think. I
He's
think
just
it's good to keep in mind like foreign intrusion when it comes to like social media activity. But I don't think like Russia. I don't think any foreign actor, or I don't think any domestic actor, is in a place where they can mass change votes.
Okay, so there's a few theories out there. I have 3.
Okay.
I think that there is a possible way for mass suppression of on like a grand scale, and that would be through stolen identities, just falsely registering, putting in errors to your signatures. Like we've had all these, you're researching it now, we've had like tons and tons of incidences where there's false signatures found, and it looks like GOP and Dems are kind of loosening restrictions on those. You would be porting in errors to addresses, just small addresses, which would avert like a ballot being sent out. So the Dems pandemic-dependent seniors, maybe they wouldn't have a ballot arrive in time. Just information in the voter rolls, right? So errors that would be written off as what I've seen is probably voter error. And then also canvassers, and a lot of these places are getting blamed. There was a case in 2020 in South Florida. There's a big apartment building where there was seniors and Hispanics who had this very information changed in their rolls, their signatures, even their registration, so affiliations. So they were changed from Democrat to Republican. You want to look up any of those, I could send you links. Like, there's so many links I want to send you right now. Chad thinks I'm a schizo poster, so I've been in your Discord.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying that like Russia can't hack the election and that they could just like change the votes. But you're saying that like assuming that intrusion into private and public systems is possible, it could be that there'd be like a more sophisticated, more widespread attack where Russia gains access to certain servers that it has like vulnerabilities discovered on, and then it could dump like voter rolls or like very subtle stuff like that, kind of like that is possible.
Sure, but it's more insidious than that because he's already gotten Trump to frame us. He's gotten Trump to frame Dems, a deep state, which I think if you add all of Putin and Q accounts and Trump's claims together would be a Jewish globalist evil cabal on this global voter fraud. And he would get a lot out of that if he just did something now, because if there was mass sabotage, Trump's going to say, oh, I'm always right. This implicates that I was always right. I don't think we could have even really like looked into the investigation the way he wanted to in 2020, because we already saw his investigation in 2016. And what did he do after that when he found no fraud? He doubled down and said Dems still stole his popular vote. So like, I also noticed that we're missing a Russian investigation. This massive intel report is just missing and gone mysteriously, and we don't know where that is. How would we be able to trust that if there was fraud in 2020 and it perhaps helped Trump, or if it was even placed there just so he could frame us because he'd already done all that legwork with the optics, if they would then be able to turn around, Putin would then be able to turn around and frame the U.S. government and this quote-unquote deep state for fraud in Russia, in Ukraine, where that's already been claimed. And I've got chatters in your Discord telling me, what if U.S. did do actual election fraud in Russia? Maybe we are, and maybe that's the effect he wants, because he's illegitimate, because he's seen as illegitimate. Hillary Clinton called him out when she was the target in 2016. I think there's a lot to dig into here, and if you want to keep going.
Okay, I'll keep it in mind. When I'm probably going to end up reading the Mueller report. I think I will. So I'm sure some of it will come up there or peripheral to that. So, okay.
All right.
Have fun. Be careful.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
After Fox News and Fox Business broadcast those falsehoods to a global internet audience, Dominion and its employees were harassed and received death threats. By way of example only, on November 24, 2020, someone left the following voicemail on Dominion's customer support line. One sec. Boy, you guys are really good at what you do. Count, count, count. Swap up the software. All the things. When I heard that you were in Denver, Colorado, and the other big company was in Austin, I thought, home of the future libtards of America. Oh, I know that's horrible to say, and you're probably just wetting yourself because how could he use that term? But just to say, as an American soldier, who's probably a lot older than most of you people over at that company, that evil is evil, and when you mess with us, the righteous will win. So I'm going to fully spitball, but it's like, we will have our day in court, and we will win. So just be prepared, because because things might change. Us crazies out there, you know better. You know better, though, since you're all involved. Oh, we all know that's true, but we'll have to kind of cover it up because we'll do anything. The end will justify the means. So it's like you want Joe Blow to get in there. Well, he would be a horrible choice for our country, but you probably think he'll be a great choice. So just know there's a lot more of me than there are of you guys. So just remember, you're in your little bubble and might not realize, but there's a lot more of us. And I think you know what that means. We believe in all the amendments. Okay, have a super duper day. Get out to Blue Sonic and have some Mexican food. Support a local restaurant in Denver. On November 24th to 25th, a Dominion employee received the following text messages. Run. I don't need to do that. We are already watching you. Come clean and you will live. What is the penalty for treason? Fuck Antifa, fuck Antifa, fuck Antifa, fuck Antifa, fuck Antifa, fuck Antifa. Does that chant sound familiar? PB have you, and there is nowhere you can run. On November 26th, someone left this message on Dominion's customer support line. You're all fucking dead. You're all fucking dead. We're bringing back the firing squad, and you fuckers are all dead. everybody involved up against the wall, you motherfuckers. We're gonna have a fucking lottery to fucking give people a chance to shoot you motherfuckers. You fucking wait, you cocksuckers, you commie pieces of shit. We're going to fucking kill you, all you motherfuckers. After a fair trial, of course, you pieces of shit. The American people are fucking coming for you. This is the end of your fucking line, guys. Your fucking days are numbered. You better enjoy your Thanksgiving because you're never going to see another one, you fucking cocksuckers. You will be gone soon. Happy Thanksgiving, cocksuckers. You're almost done. Just watch and see what happens. Check out the executive order from September 12th, 2018. You'll see what's going to happen. You'll own nothing. You'll be on the fucking 2030 plan because you'll own nothing, you fucking cocksuckers. It's coming. Buckle your fucking seatbelts. Watch what's going to happen next. On November 30th, someone left this message on Dominion's main office line. Yeah, good afternoon. Fuck you, fucking scumbags. We're gonna blow your fucking building up, piece of fucking shit. These are only a few examples. There are many, many, many more. I try not to read hate messages because they're bad, or because it encourages people to try to say, but I got one yesterday. Some of these are just so fucking stupid and funny. Hold on. He messages me and he goes, okay, so these are messages. Okay, he's sending them. Can't wait till November 5th. Cuck. Testing. You're a faggot. Fuck you, retard, blue-haired faggot. Timcast pegs your wife in the ass while you watch. Cuck faggot. And then I think that was a few days ago. And then yesterday he messages me and he says, hold up. Did you forget you're a faggot? I don't know, man. A lot of angry dudes. Dominion. These are good to have on hand. I think it demonstrates an increase in temperature, if you will. Wait, what the fuck? PB have you, and there's nowhere you go. Is PB, what does APB stand for? Isn't that like when the cops are coming to get you? All points bulletin. Oh, do you think PB means Proud Boys here? Let's see, the summary judgment. How does it take 130 pages to do a summary judgment? Bro, you're just saying you won the case. Christ. Upon defendant Fox News, let's see, okay, rule motion 56, okay. Fox News did a motion for summary judgment, denied. Rule 56, motion for summary, another defendant denied. Dominion's motion for summary judgment, granted in part and denied in part. So why? What happened? What is FNN? Probably Fox News Network and Fox Corp or something. Fox Corporation. God, could you imagine if Hunter Biden became the new fucking... Ugh. Joe steps down and he puts his son up instead? Hell yes. Any like legal, but any love for Bruce Rivers? Yeah, usually Bruce Rivers is pretty good, I think. I don't think I've seen him get... He gets a couple things kind of off sometimes, but I've never seen him get anything like egregiously wrong or anything. I don't think. Let's see. We've got the parties. Execs. This is just background stuff. The election. Election coverage. Election fraud allegations. Dominion's role. Fact checking. The brain room. Ooh, what are these briefs from? Fact-checking. 1. The Brain Room. FNN has a centralized research department called the Brain Room that conducts internal fact-checking. On November 13th, 2020, the Brain Room completed a fact-check regarding the Dominion allegations, which stated there was no evidence of widespread fraud, claims about Dominion switching or deleting votes are 100% false, and claims that votes for former President Trump were deleted are mathematically impossible. What is this document referring to? Dominion... Id means it's referring to the prior thing. Dominion MSJ. What is this? Some sort of court submission? Some brief? EX means exhibit, right? Fuck. Was this in the initial complaint, or was this in another thing that they filed? Holy Christ! Who gets paid to write all this shit? That'll be another $5 million for another fucking... Oh, MSJ, motion for summary judgment. Oh, I'm opening the same fucking thing. What is the document that this is pulled from? Internal Fox report? Yeah, I'm just curious what... Oh, there's even more. Dominion has no company ownership, relationship with any member of the Pelosi family, the Feinstein family, or the Clinton Global Initiative. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity, and Infrastructure Security Agency has debunked viral claims about the existence of a secret CIA program for vote fraud called Hammer and Scoreguard. No credible reports or evidence of any software issues exist. Claims about software updates being done the night before Election Day are 100% false. There are no issues with the use of Sharpie pens related to hand-marked paper ballots. All U.S. voting systems must provide assurance that they work accurately and reliably as intended under Federal U.S. Election Assistance Commission and state certification and system requirements. Jesus. Oh, holy shit, you got documents. The fuck is this? Dominion satisfies all elements of a defamation claim. Oh, this is a Dominion presentation. Right? Is this like a deposition, or what is this from? Oh, this must be a deposition. You would agree generally with the notion that if you're going to air an allegation that you know is false, it's important to instantly tell the audience that the allegation is false, correct? So if at the time you knew the allegation was false, I think that is something that we would have expected, yes. Hearing slides used at hearing. A hearing. Does a hearing mean that so this was in front of a judge? If it's a hearing? Like, is the questioning by a judge and the answer is by the defense, or... These are records from a deposition being shown at a hearing. Okay. Bro. God, fuck. I want more. I want to see if I can get a Fox email. Wait, I just want like a big data dump where all these emails are posted. Hold on. This Dominion shit is going to give me a fucking aneurysm. As many times as I've told Laura it's bullshit, she sees shit posters and Trump tweeting about it. She wanted to invite an 8chan poster on about this. Might need help today. This is the Bill Gates / microchip angle to voter fraud. Ron, an 8chan poster. How's it going? How is it going, the kooks? I just sent a story. That's great, Laura. I beat her back on Dominion, saying that we should have to tell the truth, and this makes the president look like an idiot and expose you, and maybe Fox to his continued wrath. The brain room is going through this now. Janine dictated it to Tim. It's rife with conspiracy theories and bullshit, and is yet another example of why this woman should never be on live television. When he says this woman, is he talking about Sidney Powell, or is he talking about Janine? This is from Jerry Andrews. Oh my God. Just know that. If you're a conservative, damn, even they think you're retarded. Holy shit. Fuck, these are cash money. I'm glad I got a link to this. This is... What are the dates for these emails? This is the 20th of November. This is November 12th, I think, right? Oh my God. Bro, this was an execution. Holy shit. This is gotta be the most traumatized. I want to know if you're the attorneys representing Fox and you're like, okay, guys, like, okay, well, let me ask a general question then. People within Fox, either Fox News or Fox Corporation, were aware of what Sidney Powell was going to say when she appeared anywhere on air, right? Just the dynamic of live television. You can't be 100% certain of what a guest will say, but, certainly I think the shows that chose to book her would have had an idea of what she was, at least the themes that she was coming on to discuss. My question to you, sir, is, during this time frame of November and December of 2020, putting aside Fox News, Newsmax, whatever, do you agree that people within Fox Corporation had a general awareness of what Sidney Powell or Rudy Giuliani would say? I think there was a general awareness that they were supporting President Trump's election rigging claims. Is this a civil or criminal case? It's always civil. Anytime it's between two citizens or two parties or whatever like that, it's and there's not like a state involved, it's generally always civil, I think. Who's answering the questions? I don't know. My guess is this is going to be the questioning is probably being done by the attorneys representing Dominion, and the answers are probably coming from somebody working at Fox News, somebody representing Fox News Corporation or Fox Corp. Is it this guy, John Dorego, or Chief Operating Officer and Chief? Okay, the CEO and CFO. So it would have probably been this guy. I think is who's being deposed. Nice, he seemed happy with the lineup when I told him about it today. Any day with Rudy and Sydney is guaranteed gold. Oof. November 30th, 2020. God damn. Hold on, these are too good not to include. There's some of the emails showing that Fox News was knowingly capitalizing on fraudulent election claims to win back their audience after election night. Ooh, this doesn't copy well. There's no way to copy this. What? Oh wait, hold on. We have technology. Oh, just kidding, my Windows key isn't working. Fuck. Actually, you know what? Dominion's motion for summary judgment contains many damning emails. Trying to Fox News. Now I got one. Okay. Carlson to Powell. You keep telling our viewers that millions... Oh, this is Tucker Carlson to Sidney Powell. You keep telling our viewers that millions of votes were changed by the software. I hope you will prove that very soon. You've convinced them that Trump will win. If you don't have conclusive evidence of fraud at that scale, it's a cruel and reckless thing to keep saying. Oof. Meaning that Tucker Carlson is platforming it and he hasn't seen any of the evidence, right? Because if Tucker's seen the evidence for this, why would he ever send this email, right? And this is this is September. Or I'm sorry, November. This is November 17th, 2020. So we're like a month past the election. Circumstantial won't work with this story. If there's no one inside the company willing to talk, or internal Dominion documents or copies of the software showing that they did it, this seems shockingly reckless to me. And as you know, there isn't. This is from Tucker Carlson to... Who's Gina Ellis? Is this like a producer for the show or something, or... Oh, Trump's lawyer? Lawyer for Giuliani. Jesus, his lawyers have lawyers. Carlson. It sucked. Lou was reckless, but I think this will give energy to CNN and other forces seeking to kill us, so we should be as aggressive and as tough as we can be. Proving actual malice. This is the unique case. Normally, plaintiffs prove defendants' actual malice, whether they knew it was false or in fact entertained serious doubts as to the truth of the statement, by inference, as it would be rare for a defendant to admit such doubts. Solano v. Playgirl. Setting the record straight. Emails demonstrates actual malice. The reason why, it's so funny. It's not funny. It's actually tragic and sad and fucked up. But the reason why they always tell you, like, if you're a public figure, you can't really sue other public figures for defamation is because proving actual malice is, like, impossible. Like, what are the chances that you're going to get a fucking email or you're going to get something where the person is seriously saying, like, I don't know if this is true. Like, let's publish it anyway. Or this is probably not true. Like, it's a very, very, very high threshold because they don't want to make people too scared to publish information about public figures. So we have, like, very, very not lax, I should say on the other end, we have very tough standards to sue somebody for defamation if they're publishing information about a corporation or a public figure. Quick heads up, Gina Ellis pleaded guilty to the Georgia election case. From Dominion Voting Systems. Dominion Voting Systems and its thousands of election customers across the nation are committed to ensuring voter confidence in the U.S. electoral process. It's essential. Okay. Knowledge of STRS and the underlying facts. What is STRS? Something about something facts, I'm guessing. I don't know. Oh, Gina? You would agree that many people received notice of the fact that Dominion was refuting allegations of voter fraud, correct? Many people received that November 12th email. And in fact, as well as the same day, many people received the underlying statement from CISA's Elections Infrastructure Government Coordinating Council. There was no evidence that any voting system deleted or lost votes, changed votes, or was in any way compromised, correct? Setting the record straight, okay. As noted before, there was general awareness about the CISA statement. It wasn't just general awareness, sir, right? It was the fact that they received the statement themselves, correct? Sure. Let's see. No evidence that any voting system deleted or lost votes, changed votes, or was in any way compromised. On November 13th. Oh no. From Clark David to Sean Eric. Oh, I have it tattooed on my body at this point. I woke up after too much vodka and there it was. Setting the record straight. Dominion sent 3,682 emails to Fox recipients. Holy shit. The brain room fact checks demonstrate actual malice. Facts. Claims about Dominion switching or deleting votes are 100% false. Dominion systems continue to reliably and accurately count ballots. Dominion has no company ownership relationships with any member of the Pelosi family, the Feinstein family, the Clinton Global Initiative. Gina Ellis had that viral tweet about your debate with Greenwald. LOL, you might recall from Reddit posts. Oh shit, I remember that. I think maybe Pisco tried to let her up on Twitter over that. There's no evidence of widespread voter fraud in the 2020 election or of major problems with Dominion systems. This is the brain room fact checking. Part of the editorial team's job is when somebody is coming on with unsubstantiated allegations that have no evidence is to do some research, use the brain room, find out the information on what's going to be alleged to determine whether it should be put on the air. Is that fair? I agree, that's fair. It's a fair summary. Do you know Fox's policy for fact-checking claims made by hosts? Well, we have what's called the brain room, where we check on facts. And you regularly use the brain room, correct? Yes, the producers usually are in touch with the brain room, so I will talk with producers about what we are checking, and they do it more so than I'll do it myself. If the brain room had concluded that the charges were in fact false, they never should have been aired, correct? Yes. Imagine, like, how do you lose? I'm talking a little bit of shit, okay, because I'm not a lawyer, but like I feel like if you're gonna lose a case of defamation, and you're actually going to fail the actual malice standard, right? That means you got wrecked in court. Imagine losing, though, to the actual malice standard in a motion for summary judgment. That means you haven't even gone to trial yet, and you already lost. That means that both sides have already agreed on enough facts to say that you have lost your defamation case, that you don't even need to go to trial. It's not even a question of, right? Because summary judgment means that there's an agreement on the facts, and that's it, right? As a matter of law, like there's just a ruling, or well, it was a partial reward and a partial rejection. So I don't know what was rewarded and what was rejected. So we'll get to that. Let's see. Ron Mitchell, Tommy Firth. Okay. This Dominion shit is going to give me a fucking aneurysm. As many times as I've told Laura it's bullshit, she sees shit posters and Trump. Oh, we were doing this. She wanted to invite an HM poster. Okay, we saw this. Does anyone do a fucking simple Google search? Lauren Peterson. September 5th? Or November 5th? Sorry. Jesus Christ. Does anyone do a fucking simple Google search or read emails? The New York Appellate Division affirms smart somatic suit against Fox. Widespread knowledge of the truth supports finding of actual malice. The fact that in this case the truth was both generally known and generally available is further circumstantial evidence of actual malice. Oh, and they're citing another case here. Okay. Reliance on anonymous or unreliable sources without further investigation may support an inference of actual malice, citing another case. Damn, how much did these people get paid? How much did Dominion lawyers get paid for a lawsuit? Oh, I wonder if it was a contingency. No shot, right? Given how much they were asking for? 31 lawyers from 9 different law firms worked on the case. Dominion accumulated about $12.2 million in out-of-pocket legal costs from November 2020 to October 2022, according to court filings. Lucrative success fees. Partners at large corporate law firms like those representing Fox, meanwhile, sometimes bill more than $2,000 an hour. God damn. Okay. From what I know, Fox had insurance, so it's hard to tell how it directly affected them. You can have insurance for a deliberate wrongdoing? No shot, right? That would be crazy. So you see how they're building the case, right? They're listing other court cases where they're saying, hey, here's a way on it. Like, dude, all the law shit is just like debating. Really, it truly is just a big debate, right? So they're sourcing another court case saying like, hey, well, here's a circumstance where, reliance on anonymous or unreliable source without further investigation may support an inference of actual malice. So they cite another case, and then they go through emails proving. Reliance on anonymous or unreliable sources without further investigation may support an inference of actual malice. Email. Sidney Powell is a bit nuts. Sorry, but she is. Dare to Wallace. How is that okay? None of that is true as far as we can tell. We need to fact check this crap. It would help us. There is no evidence of fraud. None. Allegations, stories, Twitter, bullshit. Nothing concrete. That will affect the spread in any of these states. Arizona was a shitty call when they made it, but he will lose Pennsylvania by 200,000. Ooh. 200,000. Isn't that the same number that they're now claiming is like fraudulent? The funny thing is that like, because I went through the Twitter files. The Twitter files were some of the most nothing burger stories I've ever seen in my life. There was so much more conversation about the Twitter files than there were about these emails. And these are so much more sensational. Not even like substantively better. They're just like funnier. Like, Like the Twitter files is like, we don't know what we should do with this content. Like there's a real dilemma here and we don't know if we should take it down. We're not really sure the authenticity. Blah, blah. And then they're like, FBI told Twitter to take down all the files. Jesus. Murdoch's own outlets reported on lies told about Dominion. I wanted to make sure you saw the Wall Street Journal editorial board's piece published yesterday, emphasizing complete lack of evidence to support recent claims against Dominion voting systems. Dominion voting touts Wall Street Journal editorial board debunking. Responsibility is shared up and down the chain of command. Deposing the chief legal and policy officer of Fox Corporation. If any of the people in that chain of command who had the power to exercise control over Lou Dobbs' show knew that what Sidney Powell was alleging was false, didn't they have an obligation to prevent her from coming on the show to tell these lies? Yes. But when the executives at Fox News know that hosts of shows are broadcasting allegations that the executives know or believe to be false, in that situation, the executives have an obligation to act, right? If they are within the chain of command, and if they come to that knowledge, yes. And by act, that means put a stop to it, right? They have an obligation under those circumstances, the executives do, in the chain of command to put a stop to those broadcasts, right, sir? Yes, to prevent and correct known falsehoods. And then this is the Senior Vice President for Weekend News and Programming. And indeed, you often consulted with both Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo and Justice with Judge Janine on who would appear on their shows during this time frame, correct? Yes, and you also consulted with both shows and the content of what would appear on both shows during that time frame, correct? Yes, to some extent. By November 6th, sir, did you know that there were false conspiracy theories circulating generally, correct? I'm going to say yes. To the best of your knowledge, on November 6th, you did not believe that the election was being stolen, did you? I did not. Clark cancels Puro show. I have a 1:30 news call, but I need to talk to JJP right now. Bottom line, I don't trust her to be responsible tomorrow. Her guests are all going to say the election is being stolen, and if she pushes back at all, it will just be a token. Oof. Sophisticated. And they even understand, right, about token pushback. Smart. So they know what's going on. They're not stupid. Despite what she said to Jerry and me, she's now going off on her conspiracy tangent on a show staff call. Wow, Freakazoid, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. What did he have tattooed on his body? Or what is the joke here? Maria is calling you now. Yes, we're keeping him. Got it. She's going to call him in the morning and ask him to please not criticize Fox on the air. If he does anyway, she'll tell him it's inappropriate. Right? And she will push him on concrete evidence of fraud, etc. That's why we booked him. If they're dropping suits on Monday, we need to see what evidence they're presenting along with them. It's also a pre-tape, so if it goes completely off the rails, we can always try to cut or take Kevin early. Oh, dude, the lawsuit's coming. We've got to course correct right now before they serve us papers. Wow, Curtis, thanks for the gifted membership, my dude. Bro, why isn't there a, what was it called? The Social Network? God. We are pre-taping Rudy. Is it true that the Social Network, that all of the acting, all of that is 100% from the deposition? Or is that bullshit that I read that? My God, that movie really came out in 2010? What? Is Wikipedia glitching? This movie came out like 15 years ago? Okay, no, that was just bullshit. Let's see, this was on September 15th? No, November 15th. Clark tells Bartiromo to stop booking Rudy and Sydney. David Clark just called me. There are 3 guests that Fox is banning because of legal reasons, and your host likes all of them. Rudy, Gina Ellis, and Sydney. They said it's because of Smart Martic suit. I don't think Rudy hasn't mentioned Dominion, Smart Martic, or Machine since Sydney split off on her own. Mead Cooper, Justice Vajija, okay. Ben Smith set out to write a hit piece and found a willing megaphone in MSNBC. Clearly, I reject the notion that the hosts don't have bosses exercising judgment. I reject the... Jesus, holy double negative. I reject the notion that the hosts don't have bosses exercising judgment. Okay. Very hard to credibly claim foul everywhere. Trump is still talking legal actions, but in calmer voice. Everything seems to be moving to Biden, and if Trump becomes a sore loser, we should watch Scan. What is this? Especially, and others don't sound the same. Not there yet, but a danger. Turkey on now with Fox and Friends sounds pretty sensible. If Biden holds Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, very hard to credibly cry foul everywhere. Love to hear likely House numbers. Pelosi majority halved? Question mark. Can we focus on our W's, please? Finally, got Fox on here. Nice to see plenty of breaks. Yesterday, CNN had none, but so biased as to be unwatchable. Oh, this is from Rupert Murdoch. Oh, I just saw this. Damn. Oh my God, there's so many of these emails. Do you believe, as of November 6th, that going on television to say that the election is being stolen would be a conspiracy theory? I agree that that would not be based in fact at that point. They're like fucking... Oh no. Alex Pfeiffer to Justin Wells. They took her off last night because she was being crazy. Optics are bad, but she is crazy. Freakazoid, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Ron Mitchell. And your current title is Senior Vice President of Fox News Channel Primetime. Is that right? Primetime programming and analytics, yes. As part of that job, is it fair to say that you have some level of editorial oversight over those primetime broadcasts? Yes. Let's see. The Dominion shit is going to give me a fucking aneurysm. As many times as the Lord's bullshit, she's... Okay, we've already seen this. What Dana said would never have been picked up if for Fisher. And I'm not mad at either of them. I'm mad at those clowns at the conference who put us in a terrible place. Yes, but those clowns put us in an awkward place where we're going to need to thread the needle. Haha, nope. Basically, want to wrangle the argument away from the crazy that was today. It's easy to dismiss legitimate complaints, but you can lump them in with the circus. Will you be mentioning the international crime conspiracy to steal the election, featuring Soros, Maduro, Chavez, Antifa, Cuba, and China? Wait, who is... Hold on, let me... This is... Ron Mitchell's up here, the Senior VP Vice President. Okay, who is Thomas Firth? Wait, who is this guy? He's like one of the hosts of one of these shows, I'm guessing, right? Oh, this is... Oh, do you... Hold on. The prong just got... The fork just got one prong larger. Do you acknowledge... Wait. You must acknowledge that Fox News knowingly told you the exact same lies that Donald Trump tried to tell state election boards, his officers in government, and his voter base / supporters. Every single person at Fox News knew very early on that every single Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani claim was utterly bullshit. So much so that they were preemptively removing them from shows and confronting them on their lack of evidence. Lauren Peterson, or Pedersen? You do have the power to approve whether a guest appears on any show correct on Fox Business? I do. I turned it off. I don't know how we work here. Honestly, we are going to look back at this week and know that this is when we lost a significant part of our audience who won't come back. As soon as Facebook starts telling people to go to Newsmax. You know, though, between us, this is a problem for the channel, yes, but if we keep doing what we do, FBN will get a bunch of the disenfranchised folks too. What is FBN? Fox Business Network? "100%. I was talking about exactly that with my husband last night. It's actually an opening for us. Yes, we just can't play for it openly, like Newsmax and OAN. Oof. This is November 8th, so a few days after the election, and this is when they realize, like, oh no, we fucked up. We're losing our audience. We need to start lying. But we just can't lie as openly as Newsmax and OAN. Bro, why do people do this shit on corporate email? Why not use like Signal or Telegram or like some fucking... God, fuck. Coordination on 4chan calls on users to spread claims that Dominion voting systems were used to commit voter fraud. Local source via 4chan. From Data Miner Urgent. What's the point of this? Do you see the SMF ratings? What is SMF? Sunday Morning Fox or something? Or Saturday Morning Fox? Or huge. Like huge. Tentpole and then some. Is that a sexual reference? Bartiromo has a GOP conspiracy theorist in her ear. The problem is that she has GOP conspiracy theorists in her ear, and they use her for their message sometimes. I wish she had that awareness. Tons of crazy in the November 8th broadcast. That Sidney Powell interview was problematic. We'll monitor for traction. Yes, tons of crazy. I am screaming at Stelter via text, so I missed some of it. I'm sorry, you just missed more crazy. Voter fraud, Dominion machines, and how the company is run by Dems. It's Sunday Morning Futures. Oh, that's right. Okay. How does the process work within Fox, or how did it work during this time frame from September 2020 through April of 2021 regarding the decision not to book a particular guest? I would say it was done. It could be done just by me. It would be done by me in consultation with people such as Jay Wallace. I'm just trying to think of anybody else that would have affected Sunday Morning Futures, but it also could have been my judgment call that this person was not a right fit or the right kind of guest for that show at that time. Why did you let Mr. Wallace and Miss Cooper know that there was pushback that Miss Bartiromo was allowing QAnon conspiracy theories to be aired on her show? Very simply, they were two of my superiors. Who would have the authority to edit out false claims from a broadcast of Sunday Morning Futures before it was rebroadcast on Fox Business Network at 6 p.m.? It was, I believe, the original repeat is on 6 p.m. Eastern. I don't know who's on the case. I assume it would be Lauren Pedersen. Okay. Senior programming executives of some type would include yourself, correct? Yes. Senior programming executive of some type would include Jay Wallace, correct? Yes. Senior programming executive of some type would include Suzanne Scott, correct? Yes, in my opinion, yes. So Fox Business's management had the ability to say, We're not going to rebroadcast the show on Fox Business, right? We have that right. And the expectation of Fox Corporation when it does that is that Fox News executives will not allow false claims to be rebroadcast, sir. Correct? That is correct. Scott relays Murdoch's instructions. As we try to repair a bit of the damage with the audience, I think we need to pause on the Pete's and Coons. They annoy the audience. What is this slang for? Or what is that, a show? They annoy the audience, and I think we just need some comfort food to get through the week. Is this a saying? What does that mean? Oh, Pete Buttigieg and Chris Coons.
A series of topics from, national service.
Oof, he looks like a guy who you wouldn't want him to have that last name. Oh no. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. You can't. People don't look racist. I was just being racist right there. My bad. They annoy the audience, and I think we just need some comfort food to get through the week. This is from Wallace, from Suzanne Scott. Long talk with KRM and Lackland. I told them the first 72 hours would be the worst of it. They are expecting a major overhaul of polling. The Wall Street Journal doing some and will not work with NBC. Audiences don't want to see too much of the Mayor Pete's and Coons, etc. in the news hours. Need to be careful about bookings the next 2 months, especially in news hours. It's 2 days after Biden was declared president-elect. Viewers going through the 5 stages of grief. It's a question of trust. The Arizona was damaging, but we will highlight our stars and plant flags, letting the viewers know we hear them and respect them. Oh my God. The Newsmax surge is a bit troubling. Truly is an alternative universe when you watch, but it can't be ignored. Yes. My problem is Mead is asleep on this. I have to push Jason since yesterday to get a Puro promo on our air. Trying to get everyone to comprehend we are on war footing. Oof. Our talent must stop disrespecting the audience. What she did and then what Neil did was worse. Neil doesn't think the American audience is smart, ought to make a decision for themselves in watching a press conference. Terrible. If they don't get it, they don't deserve the scale of our platform to diminish our viewers. Who are they referring to here? Who is the Neil person? Neil who? Neil Peart? Neil Caputo? Oh, news anchor, this guy. This guy? This is about when they interrupted Trump's speech about election fraud. Okay. Wait, where were we? Hello, Suzanne and Jay. Tony Fratto here from Hamilton Place Strategies. My client is Dominion Voting Systems, which, as you know, has received a great deal of attention on Fox News and from the president. An enormous amount of misinformation, actually completely and verifiably wrong information, is finding its way on air. I was wondering if you both would consider accepting an off-the-record briefing from Dominion to walk through the business and our concerns. Oh no, oh my God, they're being so polite about this. Oh no. Let me know if you want to discuss further. Also, I hope you know I have many friends at Fox News, and it's not my usual way to go this route. I prefer to always talk to on-air talent and producers, but I think this situation is crossing dangerous lines. After the press conference, November 19th. I'm getting major incoming on her editorializing at the top of Dana's show and her dismissive tone and indifference to the audience. We need to manage this. I saw she just did a hit in Cavuto. I hope she didn't double down. I can't keep defending these reporters who don't understand our viewers and how to handle stories. The audience feels like we crapped on and we have damaged their trust and belief in us. We lost 25,000 subs from Fox Nation. We can fix this, but we cannot smirk at our viewers any longer. What is she saying? What's she implying when she's saying this? I don't understand. Is she saying that that they're treating their viewers dishonestly by broadcasting lies to them, or that they need to... Like, who is she referring to? Is it to Sidney Powell or somebody else, or? Okay. This has to stop now. The audience is furious. People like Cavuto started treating Trump's claims as crazy. She's saying it pisses off the base. Oh. This has to stop now. I'm going to address this with you and Jay and Lowell tomorrow. This is bad business, and there's clearly a lack of understanding of what is happening in these shows. The audience is furious, and we are just feeding them material. Bad for business. Oh, I understand. She's saying that... Wait, do I understand? So she's saying that their hosts are actually trying to do their... So at least some of them are trying to do their job, but the viewers are getting ass mad because the hosts are saying there was no voter fraud? Is that what they're saying? I think so, because that's what this is like. The case is setting up to prove is that the execs knew this. Yeah, okay. Please let me know if we book Pompeo and or Mike Lindell. They would both get ratings. You are the executive editor with ultimate editorial control of the content at Fox News, right? Jay Wallace, president and executive director of Fox News Media. Bro. Dude, these emails, I'm sorry. You are the executive editor with ultimate editorial control of the content of Fox News, right? Right. You had ultimate editorial oversight for the content broadcast on Fox News about the 2020 election, right? Yes, ma'am. From Jay Wallace. To Irina Briganti. Subject, Dobbs segment. Thank you. I watched Lou closely for 2 weeks during the conventions. The North Koreans do a more nuanced show. From Jeremy Batt to Jessica Kentner. I wanted to ask, does Fox News media management have any concerns about the veracity of the claims that Powell has been making on network shows? Is Sidney Powell welcome to appear on any Fox News media show? Is Fox News media encourage show hosts to fact-check claims about voter fraud? I am aware, for example, of Eric Shawn's comments on Sunday afternoon about voter fraud. FYI, we spoke with Lauren and Meade, and there's nothing to combat this, so we're not responding. Wait, hold on. Wait, is Jeremy Barr one of the Dominion lawyers? And then this was sent to Jessica and Callie or whatever. External. Quick question. Sidney Powell. I don't know who Jeremy Barr is. Sounds like a WAPO inquiry. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Because forward, it's about the Washington Post inquiry. FYI, I spoke to people. We're going to go ahead and leave this one on red. Yeah. It's been from Rupert Murdoch, the big boy himself. It's been suggested that our primetime 3 should independently or together say something like, the election is over. The election is over and Joe Biden won. We are all disappointed, but it happened. We love America and have to turn the page. By the way, this is fucking in January. This is January 5th, 2021. Suzanne Scott. Thanks. I told Rupert that privately, they are all there. We need to be careful about using the shows and pissing off the viewers, but they know how to navigate. Bro, this is such a good study in audience capture. This is like peak audience capture. Oh! Oh, shit. I just connected the dates. Oh, yeah, you're right. I wasn't even thinking. This is January 5th. The day before the day before J6, like maybe we should say something. Maybe we should actually come out and make a statement about this. Holy shit. Maria Bartiromo and team had actual malice. Yeah, you think? Bro, we're not even halfway through this presentation. Oh my god. And this is a common practice of yours to jot down notes based on contemporaneous conversations that you're having with potential source individuals. Yes, I will write notes while I'm on the phone with a person to jot down what they're telling me. Right, do you recall writing these notes? Yes. And were these notes based on conversation you're having with Sidney Powell? Yes. From Maria Bartiromo. Wait, she's talent, right? This is a show host or something? I don't know these fucking shows. Is this like a Fox News person? I don't watch any of this shit. Host of Fox and Friends. Okay. Oh, it says it right here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Host of Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo. From Maria. Subject, Sidney Powell. We have to go to a full-on war. They have used all systems to defraud. Hammer or voting bank. The IB side is the vote total. Jared says he doesn't want to hear about any conspiracy theory. Everyone us excluding me from meetings. We have to file federal suits in every state. The campaign is not doing shit. They want to file 2 lawsuits in a couple of places. That's not going to solve the problem. The country needs to survive. We have to keep this president. No one thinks anyway that people voted for Biden. Hammer, a sophisticated computer system that allied citation of votes. Okay, who typed this? Is this on a fucking actual typewriter? Was there no autocorrect in 2020? What the fuck? Is she copy pasting something that Sidney Powell sent her, or is this her own typing? Like, is this Maria, or is this Sydney's writing? Oh no, I bet it's Maria's writings. She's being excluded from. She's being excluded from fucking meetings because she's fucking insane. The execs don't want her in the meetings. There is also a Dominion system that I didn't know about that has reported glitches and has been used in key states, and it adds on thousands of votes. Evidence, yes, we have. Statistical of impossibilities and pictures of a man sticking thumb drives in voting machines. I go machine something. The most important points are 1, this was planned. It was sophisticated, funded, and orchestrated, and uses all areas of fraud, including digital. We now know Nancy Pelosi has an interest in it. It's been directed also by Soros. It's been used in 30 states. It's not possible that 138,000 votes came in all for Biden, none for Trump. That doesn't happen. All kinds of anomalies. Just like the Steele dossier. They throw lots of stuff at it and create something and flood media. Okay, these are notes she was having based on a conversation you were having with Sidney Powell. So I wonder if Sidney Powell was telling her these things, and so she's writing notes and she's emailing her notes to her. So that's what these are. Okay, gotcha. I think that's what's happening, right? So this isn't her thoughts. These are things that Sidney Powell is telling her, I guess. Okay. McCarthy tells Bartiromo, no mass cheat. From Maria, subject Kevin McCarthy notes, you believe Biden won fair? There are a few issues, but I don't believe there is a mass cheat, McCarthy probably said. I've not seen any proof so far of the ballot fraud. The email that launched 1,000 lies. from Marlene Bourne. Subject, election fraud info to Cindy Powell. Dear Miss Powell, Mrs. Powell, Mr. Fitton, and Mr. Dodds, I was told to email you the following piece of information. You're probably already aware of voting irregularities in a number of states, which have one common thread: Dominion voting systems. But the monopoly isn't necessarily the issue, it's the software. A piece of code was inserted such that once ballots were fed into the database for tabulation, up to 3% of votes for Mr. Trump would automatically switch to Mr. Biden. This was capped at 3% because it was supposedly determined that anything higher than that would raise suspicions. But that 3% would be enough to tip a tight race. Do we have any evidence for this? Quick 9-second YouTube video, last link. Oh, The Wire.
Nigga, is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy? What the fuck is you thinking, man?
Bartiromo agrees it's nonsense. Miss Bartiromo, before you put Miss Powell on your show, when you had this document in your possession and had sent it to your producer, did you confront Miss Powell with this document and ask her anything about it? No. I have no idea what it even means. It's, as I said, it's not evidence. I don't know what it is. It's nonsense, correct? I don't know who this person is. It's nonsense, correct? Yes, it looks that way. Miss Bartiromo, would you agree that this email is inherently unreliable? It appears so. Miss Bartiromo, would you agree that this email is kooky? It's kooky. Absolutely. Now we move to Tucker Carlson. Oh shit, dude. And trying to get the obits from Trump campaign now for dead people. Oh, the obituaries. Oh, and this is from Tucker. Yep. The software shit is absurd. This is a way to dismiss it. Half our viewers have seen the Maria clip. Okay, here's the honest to God real question. Where are my civil litigators in chat? Can somebody explain to me on what fucking planet do you ever agree as Fox News to be deposed on this case? Why would you ever agree to discovery or depositions? Actually, I'm saying that, but I guess it didn't fucking matter because nobody actually gives a fuck about any of this shit. So never mind. Fuck me, I guess, right? Who actually gives a fuck? Never mind. What a retarded... You know what I just did? Do you know what I just did? I just did the equivalent of, why did they make a real-life Lion King when it sucks so much shit? Why do they do that? And the answer is because it grossed $1.663 billion. Don't they have to? Fuck no. You could either, I imagine you would just try to settle immediately, right? To see what documents of proof they had, they can learn more about it. No, I'm asking why Fox News would allow this to go to court at all. Dominion didn't want to settle at first, no? True. Actually, yeah, true. I guess maybe they can kind of, you don't have to accept a settlement, right? Maybe. I wonder if Dominion ever actually recovered, though, like financially. In a blow to Fox News, Judge Rules Network withheld evidence in Dominion case. You know what's funny? I do reading off stream because I know it's boring to do on stream, but I was doing reading off stream. So I read yesterday about the, so Trump tried to put together, I think I've heard Rob Nora give me the primary objection to this, but I didn't realize how stupid it was. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry, not to imply Rob's objection was stupid, but Donald Trump tried to put together a voter integrity commission, or he tried to investigate voter fraud. And so he puts together this voter fraud investigation commission, and they request, in order to do an investigation, make sure there's no voter fraud, they request from all 50 states every single piece of information they have about all their voters. And all 50 states say, get fucked. Not a single state agree. They're like, we've got shit that we'll sell to advertisers. Okay, you can have that, but not a single state was like, we're not giving you our fucking voter information. The fuck? That's our information. And so obviously the commission got ass mad. There was the name of a guy, commission, voter fraud, investigate. I don't have to get into all the details of it, but it's funny because at some point, so they it's like a bipartisan commission, kind of. There's like 7 Republicans, I think, and 5 Democrats. And the the Republicans just stop like giving documents over and stop inviting to meetings the Democrats that are part of the voter fraud commission. So the Democrats are like, hey, can we get some information? What the fuck? You can't just not give us anything. And eventually they sue. They go to a federal court and they're like, hey, they're not inviting us to anything. We're not getting any documents. The judge grants them their relief. They're like, yeah, you have to invite them. And then 2 weeks later, Trump just disbands the fucking commission. And it's like, wait, what the fuck? This is so wild. Let me see if I can find this. I don't know if it's in the wiki. Lawsuit. They literally burned all of the information. Wait, is that true? Oh. In November of 2017, Maine Secretary of State Matthew Dunlap, a Democratic member of the commission, said that Kobach was refusing, Kobach, is that his name? Kobach? Was refusing to share working documents and scheduling information with him and the other Democrats on the commission. He filed suit, and in December, a federal judge ordered the commission to hand over the documents. 2 weeks later, in January of 2018, Trump disbanded the commission, and his administration informed Dunlap that it would not obey the court order to provide the documents because the commission no longer existed. What? By the way, and I never found any evidence of voter fraud. But I mean, I don't even think they got any information from any of the states. Half the states were like, we're not going to comply, fuck you. And then the other half were like, we'll give you the information that's like publicly available, but no, we're not going to give you our fucking voter information. It's just like so wild. There was an immediate bipartisan backlash and rejection of the inquiries, with the majority of states quickly rejecting the request, notably Commissioners Kobach, Dunlap, and Lawson, who also serves as the Secretary of State for Kansas, Maine, and Indiana, respectively, with Indiana being Mike Pence's home state, indicated that their state laws forbade them from complying. And then I think at one point, I think Kobach, is it Kobach? Am I pronouncing that guy's name right? Was saying that they were going to use like the Department of Homeland Security to do the investigation. And then afterwards, he was like, yeah, I'm working with the DHS now and we're investigating. And then I think the head of the DHS was like, no, he's not with us at all. I don't know why the fuck he said that. I don't know if the statements are right here. Oh, shit, they are. He stated, this is a tactical shift by the president. Okay, after Trump shut down the commission, Kobach pointed out in an interview that DHS knows the identity of everyone who has green cards and temporary visas, and that to compare those names to state voter rolls would be immensely valuable. He stated, this is a tactical shift by the president, who remains very committed to finding the scope of voter fraud. He told several interviewers that he'd be working closely with the White House and the DHS to ensure the investigation continues. But the acting DHS press secretary said that Kobach would not be advising or working with the department. On January 9th, the director of the White House Information Technology stated in a declaration appended to a motion that the state voter data the commission had collected would not be sent to the DHS or any other agency except the National Archives and Records Administration, pursuant to federal law. Jesus, what a clusterfuck of dumb shit. Okay, sorry. Great show so far. I know that B script was wordy, but it came out great. It was Tucker Carlson. It was awesome. Sidney Powell is lying. Fucking bitch. Damn. Fox's argument. Carlson respected Powell. She's a psychopath. She's getting Trump all spun up and has zero evidence. Okay? Remember, September 17th, timelines. Okay, remember Donald Trump, or not September, I keep saying September, November 17th, okay? They've already claimed mass voter fraud over and over and over and over again. They're already trying to file suits. They're already doing all this shit, right? No evidence, zero evidence, okay? Same with Rudy. NSC Cyber did a thorough analysis. There's nothing to it. Fucking bitch. And she hasn't stopped. Crazy person. Trump legal team shuns Sidney Powell as insiders and national security officials see no evidence supporting her voting machine claims. One of the things that we don't see, and it comes out a little bit in the, oh God, bro, there's gonna be such a sick fucking move. That would be the way to save the country. Somebody should have made a movie of this because that's the only thing Americans will fucking watch. But there were so many, can I find this? January 6th Select Committee. There were so many like dramatic showdowns in the Oval Office over like drama that was going on. Like when Donald Trump was threatening to fire Rosen and Clark, his acting AG and deputy AG, because he was like, I need you motherfuckers to send letters to the states. This was before January 6th. I need you to send letters to the states saying we found voter fraud evidence and they need to flip their votes. And Rosen and Clark were like, no, that's retarded. We're not going to do that. And Trump's like, okay, well, that's cool. And then I think the next day, Trump sent like a random, I don't know if it was like a staffer or somebody working the district. He was like, go over there and tell them that if they don't do this, I'm firing both of them and you're going to be the new acting attorney general. And I don't remember the name of the guy, but when he went over and did it, and then word got back to I think the White House, like half of Donald Trump's staff threatened to quit. They were like, bro, if you do this, we're at gonzo. And there were all these fights between like the official White House counsel on one side, and on the other side, you've got fucking Giuliani and Powell that are like screaming these insane fucking conspiracy theories. And it's like, and Trump is like, they're making good points, aren't they? Oh my God. Fuck, is this the big one? Oh no, wait. Clark might have been the one. It was was it Jeffrey Clark and something Rosen and Jeremy Rose? Hold on, let me find that. Hold on. It was so dramatic. Didn't the guy try to fire him, but the one guy said no? The acting AG might have, I don't know if I'm making this up. He might have said no, Trump needs to do it himself or something. I don't remember. I think, didn't this happen with Sessions as well? When Donald Trump was telling Sessions, listen, if you're not going to defend me from this FBI bullshit, you need to resign. And Sessions was like, no, I'm not going to. So Donald Trump just starts spam tweeting him. It's like, this motherfucker, get him the fuck out of my, get him out of here. It's so fucking retarded. It was Acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen and then the Deputy Attorney General Richard Donahue. Okay, hold on, page 381. Barr felt that he was leaving the department in the hands of two trusted lieutenants, but President Trump immediately began to pressure Rosen and Donahue, just as he had Barr. On December 14th, the day Barr resigned, Molly Michael, special assistant to the president and Oval Office coordinator, sent an email to Acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen. The email had two documents attached, both of which were labeled From POTUS. The first was a set of talking points focused on false allegations of voter fraud in Antrim County, Michigan. The second document was the same ASOG report that the president had given Barr. The next, that Barr had probably already said was bullshit. The next day, President Trump held a meeting in the White House with Acting Attorney General Rosen, Acting Deputy Attorney General Donahue, and I think this is pronounced, is it Cifaloni? Mark Meadows, and then Acting Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security, Ken Cucciolini, and Acting General Counsel of the Department of Homeland Security, Chad Mizell. Barr did not attend, even though he was not scheduled to leave the DOJ until the following week, because he was like, get me the fuck out of here. The timing of the meeting was notable, as the previous day the Electoral College had met and cast their votes in favor of former Vice President Biden. Cringe. During testimony before the Select Committee, Donahue explained that the December 15th meeting was largely focused on the ASOG report. According to Donahue, the president was adamant that the report must be accurate and that it proved that the election was defective, that he in fact won the election, and that the department should be using that report to basically tell the American people that the results were not trustworthy. President Trump discussed other theories as well, including erroneous allegations of voter fraud in Georgia and Pennsylvania, but the bulk of that conversation on December 15th focused on Antrim County, Michigan. President Trump asked why the DOJ wasn't doing more to look at this and whether the department was going to do its job. The Department of Justice was doing its job. In fact, Attorney General Barr had ordered unprecedented investigations into the many specious claims of voter fraud. The president simply didn't want to hear the truth. The DOJ found that not one of the bogus claims was true, as explained in Chapter 1, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Introduced to Jeffrey Clark. Representative Perry had introduced a little-known DOJ official named Jeffrey Clark to the president. At the time, Clark was the acting head of the Civil Division and head of the Environmental and Natural Resources Division at the Department of Justice. Clark had no experience in or responsibilities related to investigating allegations of election fraud. President Trump called Rosen virtually every day between December 23rd and January 3rd. The president usually discussed his dissatisfaction with the DOJ, claiming that the department was not doing enough to investigate election fraud. On Christmas Eve, Trump brought up Clark's name. Rosen found it peculiar, telling the Select Committee, "I was quizzical as to how does the president even know Mr. Clark?" Rosen then spoke directly with Clark on December 26th. Clark revealed that he had met with the president in the Oval Office several days prior. Clark had told the president that if he were to change the leadership at the Department of Justice, then the department might be able to do more to support the president's claims that the election had been stolen from him. So, okay, Clark, who like fucking is a coffee boy, not really, the head of like some like sub whatever fucking agency under the DOJ, okay, is telling his boss, okay, he's telling Rosen, I told Trump that if he were to change out leadership, maybe somebody could get something done around here, okay? Maybe somebody could set this ship right, you know? In his discussion with acting Attorney General Rosen, Clark was defensive and apologetic. Okay, I represent that way more aggressively, claiming that the meeting with President Trump was inadvertent and it would not happen again, and that if anyone asked him to go to such a meeting, he would notify Donahue and me, Rosen. Of course, Clark had good reasons to be defensive. His meeting with President Trump and Representative Perry on December 22nd was a clear violation of department policy, which limits interactions between the White House and the department's staff. As Stephen Engel, former Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Legal Counsel, explained to the Select Committee, it's critical that the DOJ's conducts its criminal investigations free from either the reality or any appearance of political interference. For that reason, the department has longstanding policies in place, blah, blah, blah. Okay. On December 27th, President Trump called Acting AG Rosen once again. At some point during the call, Rosen asked that Acting Deputy Attorney General Donahue be conferenced in. According to Donahue's contemporaneous notes, Trump referenced 3 Republican politicians, all of whom had supported the president's election lies in the Stop the Steal campaign. One was Scott Perry, another was Doug Mastriano, a senator from Pennsylvania, who'd later be on the grounds of the U.S. Capitol during January 6th. President Trump also referenced Representative Jim Jordan, what a patriot, from Ohio, praising him as a fighter. Representative Perry and Jordan had often teamed up to spread lies about the election. The two spoke at a Stop the Steal rally in front of the Pennsylvania state Capitol in Harrisburg. President Trump made a stream of allegations during the December 27th call. As reflected in his notes, Donahue considered the call to be an escalation of the earlier conversations, with the president becoming more adamant that we weren't doing our job. President Trump trafficked in conspiracy theories he had heard from others, and Donahue sought to make it clear to the president that these allegations were simply not true. Donahue sought to correct President Trump in a serial fashion as he moved from one theory to another. The president returned to the discredited ASOG report, which former Attorney General Barr had already dismissed as complete nonsense. ASOG had claimed, based on no evidence, that the Dominion voting machines in Antrim County, Michigan, had suffered from a 68% error rate. As noted above and in Chapter 1, this was not close to being true, right? So not only did they know this, so remember, this is, again, you want to talk about the deep state, right? Remember that this is hitting on all levels. Donald Trump is trying to pressure every part inside of his own government, right? His own former AG rebuked him. CISA rebuked him. The head of the FBI and the FBI investigative department rebuked him. His acting people are rebuking him, and his own White House counsel is rebuking him. And the executives over at Fox. And the executives over at Fox all know that this is fucking bullshit. Everybody knows this is bullshit, right? The net difference between the machine count and the hand recount was only 12 out of 15,718 total votes. The machines counted just one more vote for former Vice President Biden, then was tallied during the hand recount. Donahue informed the president that he cannot and should not be relying on ASOG's claim because it was simply not true. This did not stop the president from later repeating the debunked allegations multiple times, including during his J6 speech at the Ellipse. He went through more conspiracies. He does this on every call. He did this with Raffensperger. If you've listened to the phone call, he just goes down every single conspiracy every single time. President Trump also wanted to talk a great deal about Georgia and the State Farm Arena video, claiming that it was fraud staring you right in the face. Oh, and he talks about Ruby Freeman again, who, by the way, I think she won a civil suit. Didn't she win a civil suit against Giuliani? Didn't Giuliani just concede and say, like, what was Giuliani's defense? He just said, like, what did he say? We were just joking? He said something, like, unbelievable. What did he... Fuck, I'm trying to think of what did he say about this? It was like a retarded fucking... Oh, fuck, what did he say? Oh, I think I might have read this in the case filings. Fuck, I wish I remember his statement. I don't even know if he fought this. Did they do this, like, full suit? Oh, it was a jury award, so yeah, they went through the whole trial. But, yeah. The Ruby case was so egregious, they tried to start up with a cop and a lawyer. This is the woman, I believe, Ruby Freeman, I think is the one that they keep saying over and over again, ran the votes 3 times. Every time you hear that bullshit claim in Georgia, it's this lady that they're talking about, I think. She ran it 3 times. She ran the vote over and over and over and over again. She kept running the vote. She kept running the same ballots. I think this is who they're referring to, is Ruby Freeman. Yeah.
Former Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani admits he lied when he accused 2 Georgia election workers of ballot fraud during the 2020 election. Giuliani made that admission in a court filing for a defamation lawsuit brought by the workers Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. He insists his claims are protected by the First Amendment free speech.
Oh, maybe that was it. Did he say that? I lied, but it's First Amendment? Fuck, does anybody have a link to the case?
Speech right. Giuliani also refuses to acknowledge his lies, caused the women harm. Freeman and Moss testified during the January 6 hearings that they'd suffered intense harassment, including hateful and racist.
Oh, shit. Oh, there's that bankruptcy case. Different thing. It's my First Amendment right to lie. Yeah, I just want to see it in. I just want to see the full quote. I don't trust anything. I just need to see the full. But Mr. Giuliani insisting that he saw legal defenses in the case so that he continued to believe his accusations about Ms. Freeman and Ms. Moss were constitutionally protected under the First Amendment. He refused to acknowledge that his statements had caused the women any damage, a key element required to collect a judgment in a defamation case. Jesus. Sorry, okay. True. You know it's bad when you have to plead the first. Oh no. He pled the first. I didn't know I couldn't say that. I thought this was a free country. I thought I could say whatever I wanted to. So Destiny publishes notes. My notes are all at destiny.gg/notes. I don't know when I last published. I think it was this morning. So there's new stuff I'll publish later.